All right, welcome to the Sushi Onsen AMA, where we host projects that have partnered through the Onsen program and give them a platform to reach a larger audience. Today we have the Neutrino protocol team with us. Welcome to the sushi community. And do you want to give a brief introduction of who you are?
Yeah, hello everyone, and glad to be here in the social community. I'm Alexey Pipyshev, and I'm a co-author of Neutrino Protocol, which is stablecoin protocol, also crypto collateralized protocol, but it's in opposite to Maker, which is using like CDP concept, right? It's based on another mechanics, and I'm a blockchain engineer as well, working with blockchain like for 3 years, and I'm blockchain agnostic. So of course I like Eve, but also working with different projects, especially with the Waves platform as well. I'm an evangelist of Waves technology, and so like almost 2 years ago, we started thinking about how to build a stablecoin, which is using like combination of concepts. It's not based on CDP, but it's based on like depth mechanic or like bonds mechanic, because it was a project which called Basis IO, which was really popular at the time, but haven't launched because of regulations, etc. So we tried to combine both approaches, like Maker, who is like culturalized by Eve in the beginning, and also the bond like mechanics for another token. And it seems like we did it. So Neutrino right now is like one of the most popular stable coins on the market, not only algorithmic stablecoin. It, according to the bank, it's like top 10 by liquidity, by market capitalization, by TVL. TVL is like is more than 300 millions at the moment. And yeah, so we are working on that. We are focusing on cross-chain right now. So my team is only one who started, but right now Neutrino protocol is maintaining by Waves Exchange. So there is like acquisition, and we, especially my team and me personally, focused on cross-chain because like cross-chain, it's our short-term future. It's not only because of like fees, but also because there are another ecosystems, there are another like communities who gonna use their own products, etc.
Hmm.
And blockchain is actually my focus right now. So yeah.
Yeah, sort of focusing on that interoperability layer. Um,
Yeah.
And just I know the USDN token and the Neutrino protocol originally was launched on the Waves blockchain, which I've known has been around for like a number of years now. Do you want to go into just like what attracted you to the Waves blockchain originally and sort of like the advantages to using that back then? Um, because like I have very limited understanding of waves. I understand it's like a high speed, sort of low cost blockchain. Um,
Yeah.
but I missed it in the past like 3 years, all the developments from waves.
Yeah, actually, it's very easy. I was like evangelist of Waves at that time, like 2 years ago, and the project was supported by grants from association, and we started like originally as a Waves project. Yeah, you're right. So the token, which is like collateral token, is Waves native token, and the project was built on Ride, which is a non-Turing complete smart contract language. But this language is let you to build any Turing complete systems, like algorithmic stablecoins or DAOs or whatever. So it's like it was interesting, novel approach. So we started like that, and for the first several months, it was only within one ecosystem, within Waves, so within Waves blockchain, etc. But this last year in the summer, we started another movement into cross-chain, and we created gateways into Ethereum. First of all, right now we have gateways into Binance Smart Chain and Heka and Phantom as well. But last year we started from porting USDN and NSBT tokens and also Waves tokens into Ethereum. We partnered with many projects in Ethereum DeFi space, like 1inch, Curve, and Zerion. And after several months, it started gaining traction. Most of liquidity is still on Curve, so you can see USDN free pool. It was a proper time to do, and yeah, right now we are expanding into more and more DeFi services and also cross chain uh, and also chains. Like it's important to be everywhere. It's important to collaborate with everywhere, and this is a strategy how to support it. Because if you just have stablecoin, it's not enough. People must use it right somewhere, into farms, into lending protocols, into exchanges. So the more players, the more liquidity, more farm opportunities will be, the better. So yeah, and right now we have recently launched the integration with Sushi, so it's on Onsen right now. But also before that, for like a couple of weeks, it was like Yarn Vault, which is a bit optimized version of Curve pool, and it's also becoming popular right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't actually even know that there was a urine vault for USDN. Um,
Yeah, you can try. It's like 55% AP or something for stablecoin,
oh,
which
yeah,
is
that's
okay.
that's really good for stablecoin on urine.
Yeah.
Um, and do you want to go into how the cross-chain bridges work? Or you don't have to get into like super technical specifics, but
Yeah, of course, of
um,
course. There is several steps. There are several steps of how to build the cross chain. So first of all, to be fast to allocate some kind of liquidity, etc. It is like centralized version of gateways, which is provided by Waves Exchange. So it's a centralized bridge actually, working with the backend. The next wave of bridges is a protocol called Gravity. So, and my team is 100% focused on that and on that use cases. And the Gravity protocol is like it's a network of oracles who can read events from one chain and write it to another chain via threshold signature, via commit reveal scheme, etc. It's like a bit sophisticated approach, but it is based on reputation scores. So any node can join, but only if there is like enough trust level from another nodes, which is dynamically changing every time. This node is eligible to write data and participate in multi-signature data updates. So and this is like new types of gateways, which are not 100% decentralized right now, but they have a potential to be, it's like it's distributed, of course, and the more nodes, the more independent organizations will run the Gravity node, the more decentralized it will be, and the more trustless it can become. But yeah, the
mhm.
protocol as well is like consensus between oracles.
It it re- the system you just described reminds me for gravities reminds me a little bit of like like how you would trust different anchors on the Stellar um decentralized exchange. I don't know if you've ever used that, but basically there'd be like you'd be node providers sort of on Stellar, and then you would, as a user, be able to choose who you trust, and then based on who you trust, you would get different exchange rates for different currencies, and but it was all based on you trusting some node, and then that anchor would have their own web of trust, and it was all built up
Yeah,
that
but
way.
this approach doesn't work with the bridges, like token bridges, because in that case you'll have a lot of different wrapped versions, right? Because bridge must have an ability to issue token, right? So for example, if you have token on one chain, let's consider like Waves or Binance chain, you have
Mhm.
token there, and this is original chain, right? To issue that, someone must call the issue transaction or something like that into Ethereum chain. And if you have one bridge, it will be one token. If it will be another It will be an hour because there is like, if at least one of participants here is like malicious, so the all breach is malicious. Doesn't matter like who you choose, right? Because of control for issue. And this is why we have more and more bridges right now. Even we are working on our own bridges solution. And I think it's kind of future because in that case people can join, they can decide to which bridges they trust, and we will see more and more different providers for the same tokens. Actually, it will be like gravity wrapped, it will be like I don't know, fusion wrapped, right? It's also popular right now, especially with the phantom and ethereum integration. There will be like waves exchange, centralized gateway, etc. And we can create like even pools for them to, you know, attract liquidity, so people can keep the token without impairment loss, because it's like exactly the same token but from different providers, right?
Mhm.
And there will be more liquidity, there will be more like arbitrage opportunities, different types of farmings for different wrapped versions, etc. So uh, people can actually bring some liquidity into wrap tokens, and this is actually like our long-term vision how to deliver stuff.
And are there some slight fees that these sort of node operators are earning for, acting as the bridge in the gravity system you're talking about?
Yeah, so Gravity is in a beta version right now, and we have an integration of USDN into Binance Smart Chain. So there is like almost 100,000 liquidity. It's not too much, but it's okay for beginning. You know, people starting creating pools and do some kind of cross chain arbitrage, etc. So for the beginning, it's okay, and it's actually increasing every day. So, and about fees, it's a good question because we have in general fees from every chain, like you have to pay for one transaction, another transaction, etc. And right now it's like it's only that. So we haven't introduced these kind of additional fees into the breach, but of course it will be increased after a certain period. Right now we some kind of sponsoring transactions just because we are interested into liquidity on different chains. But yeah, there will be fees as well. And if you're talking about like non main net of if fees, they are so low, so you can introduce almost any like you can add like $50 or something, and people will even notice that because it's like in general transaction in if. So yeah, of course, the node operators, they will generate fees from every transactions.
All right,
You're
awesome,
absolutely right.
awesome. Oh, and hey, welcome, Ilya. Are you also with Neutrino?
Hey there.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, yep. I used to work as a researcher for Neutrino. I'm currently busy with some other projects with Alexei, but can also talk about Neutrino for a while if it makes sense. But I'm pretty sure that Alexei will manage to answer all the questions without my assistance.
All right, awesome. My next topic that I wanted to talk about was the stablecoin, the collateralization mechanism for Neutrino. Um, the way I understand it, it's I know you were talking about Maker. It's a little bit almost close, like similar to synthetics, I think. I guess. I mean, it's different than synthetics because the like recapitalization with the
And
NSBT token.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, if you want to get into that a little bit, I have more questions after.
Yeah, of course, of course. So actually, remember the event last year in March? Then the Maker DAO was in like 5 million deficit, right? You remember that
Mm.
time?
Yeah, the March
So
was scary
yeah,
for Maker.
yeah, it's like this is actually like black swan for all crypto and non-crypto things. But anyway, it was a good precedent because they have like uncovered deficit like for 5 millions, and the only way to solve this deficit problem was to issue new MKR and sell it on auction, right?
Hmm.
So In that case, they can just refill the if deficited if, and the problem was solved. So originally, USDN works use the same mechanic, but the difference between MKR and synthetics as well is that MKR and synthetics, they are using the concept of debt. So you have over collateral for your stablecoin, and it's actually on your CDP. It's like NFT, right? So this is only your thing. So there is no common liquidity pool to redeem token. You have to close your CDP, or it has to be liquidated. So it depends, right? With Neutrino, there is different approach. If you have Waves native token, you can, for example, for $100, you can swap via smart contract and mint 100 USDN. So there is no over collateral to mint token, right? So in that case, you are providing this Waves tokens for 100. You have after this minting procedure, you have 100 USDN. So this is basically how it works. Like you have collateral, and if another person will also do this kind of swap, like insert Waves token into the contract and to mint like another 100. So there is no difference between you and another person, because it will be common pool. So if you're gonna redeem your Waves back, you also swap 100 USDN, and you will get $100 amount of Waves. But price will be different, right? Because price is changing every time, and we are using oracles to control the price. So there is a question like, what will happen if the price of collateral will go down, and what will happen if price of collateral will go up, right? Because like if the price of collateral will go up, there will be profit. Like there will be like a backing ratio will be more than 100%. So the system will be over collateral. But what happened if backing ratio is going down? So in that case, we have another token which is called NSBT, Neutrino system-based token, or Neutrino governance token, whatever, because it has many functions at the moment. And depends on the BR. There is like sophisticated formula, which is also including like bonding curve mechanics, etc. So it's like only limited supply possible for NSBT, etc. So in that case, if BR is going down, the issue price for NSBT token is going down as well. So there is an opportunity to buy it. And if this token is liquid on different exchanges, you have an arbitrage opportunity immediately, or you can just issue that more cheaper than on the open market and stake it. Because from each swaps, from Waves into USDN and from USDN into Waves, there are some fees, like from 0.5% to 2%. And all those fees in the form of Waves token and USDN stablecoin are going into NSBT stakers. So it's like it's like dividends for their loyalty or something like that. And this is motivating them to buy if BR is going down. And right now we have system with almost 3x over collateralization. And if Waves like collateral token is going down, the price of issue of NSBT is going down as well. So people starting issue that, right? And but to issue that token, they have to swap Waves into the contract to increase collateral. So this is how it works. Basically, it works like solution for the March event for MakerDAO, but it was original mechanics, So and actually works pretty well, because governance token like NSBT token was pretty successful last month.
Okay, and is for the swap of collateral to NSBT, when the swap price for NSBT is being adjusted. Um, I don't even know if this matters, and I'm thinking about it in my head. I was gonna ask it, is it adjusting the price in waves, or is it adjusting it on some dollar value? But when I think about it more, I think I think
for
it
meeting
work out
NSBT,
the same.
right? For meeting NSBT.
NSBT, yeah.
So for NSBT, it's adjusting in waves. You're right. So it's like how much waves smart contract needs to bring baking ratio up. But it's automatically changing, because if people are aping into like issue new NSBT, they are increasing BR as well, because they are sending more waves into the collateral. So BR is increasing, and the price is increasing as well. Actually, asymptotically, not asymptotically, exponentially. And another thing is the maximum available supply for NSBT. This is only like almost 3 million is possible in theory, and it works like a bonding curve, because the issue price for NSBT depends on the formula. There we have a limitation factor of NSBT, and if we have issued supply which is close to maximum available, so the price is going to infinite. You know what I mean? So it's like bonding curve in that sense, and because NSBT is like it's a token with many functions, especially like dividends from swaps, and also also governance functions, because there are more and more parameters can be changed uh, by governance voting. So people are buying it and staking it. So yeah, this is how it works. It's like auction for BR, like for backing ratio. And yeah, this process is actually completely different from like mechanics like SNX and MKR and etc. Like most of stable coins. So in some view, it's similar to bonds,
Yeah,
but
that's what I was thinking about. It reminds me a lot about like the algorithmic bonds where you can like buy the debt of like the protocol and then later on basically redeem it for a proper price where it appreciates due to being backfilled. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah, but bonds, they have limited abilities to grow, because it's like limited by dollar or something, right? So NSBT doesn't have this. It's like a general purpose coin with many functions than just bond. But its price depends on a backing ratio, actually performance of waves, and they are augmenting each other right now.
You say the price performance of the Waves token augments the USDN savings rate?
Yeah, backing ratio. Yeah, and it's actually compensated by demand on NSBT.
And is there any staking uses for NSBT?
Yeah, of course. So as I mentioned, there is simple procedure to mint and redeem USDN, right? You can just swap Wave's native token into
Mhm.
the contract and back. And from each swap, there is a fee. Like if you're trying to mint USDN, which is like a pretty high supply right now, um, you have to pay like 2% from that operation. If you're gonna redeem, you have to pay like 0.5%, and all fees are going into NSBT stakers. So for NSBT, there is a staking based on uh, activity ratio to issue or mint USDN, and it's actually really popular, because if we have like waves volatility on the market, people are trying to use it to swap huge amounts, like millions of dollars, because it's hard to do on the exchange without influencing on the price as well, right? On the smart
Mhm.
contract, you will not influence on the price. So huge market makers, they are doing that. If they believe that waves will go for some certain period, they are swapping back they are buying USDN and swapping, like redeeming waves back if they
Basically
believe.
arbitraging.
Yeah. So it's like it's arbitrage, but you can do it for like millions. Really, you can do like for 5, 10 millions, etc., without influencing on the price. And this is like popular mechanics. And NSBT holders, they are happy if it's happening. So
Yeah, absolutely.
and
It's revenue fee for governance stakers.
yeah, so right now they have like from 50 to 35% APU. But it depends. If we have market volatility like last week or like last 2 weeks, the rewards, they are much more higher because people, they don't know what's going on. They try and arbitrage, etc. So it's really nice time for NSBT.
Yeah, and
But
is the
if
yield there paid out in NSBT or is it paid out in
no,
like USDN, for instance?
yeah, it's a general, it's fees actually. Like if you take fees in USDN, you pay USDN. If you take fees in waves from for like issuing, you are paying in that. So it's like not in it's not like inflation or something. It's like shared profit from
But
fees.
I meant like for the NSBT staker when they stake, what is the rewards yielded as? Is it as USDN that they can claim, or is it as more NSBT that they can claim, or is it actually a mix of everything based on what people paid?
It's only right at the moment. It's only waves and USDN. So if you are
Gotcha.
staking,
I see.
so from both swaps. But yeah, it's a good question because right now the protocol is changing and the community is trying to add more and more like revenue sources, especially for so-called SDFO, like uh, speculative decentralized forex. It's like new feature in Neutrino protocol. It's like creation of new synthetic assets based on NSBT as a collateral. So for that reasons, the fees will be in NSBT as well. So the more income sources, the more types of rewards stakers will have.
Gotcha, gotcha. And
And
so
the USDN as well has its own staking. It's actually started as staking stablecoin. I can also explain. So
yeah,
yeah, because so USDN is actually it's a stablecoin pegged to $1 and collateralized by Waves native token. But in the Waves blockchain, there is a system called least proof of stake. So basically, it's a revenue stream from both from fees, like transaction fees, and also small inflation. The small inflation is like 3% per year or something per new block. And if you have Waves native token, you can actually go and stake it to some node you trust, and this node will send you back your profits from both sources, from fees and also from like new minted waves. And the smart contract is also this kind of user because you have a lot of waves on the smart contract. If people issuing USDN, right? So the smart contract is also like staking these waves, those waves to the node. The node is a special node called Neutrino node. There's actually several nodes, but anyway, and you have like TVL, you have locked waves on the smart contract, and those waves, they are working. They are also generating yield, and you can share this yield for all who has USDN, right? Because it's like it is their share in the common pool. So and this is how we have stable coin staking here. You can just hold it and you will have rewards if the BR is 100%, so it's like 100% collateral, you have almost like 6%. If there is like over collateralization, if the price of waves is going up or there a huge demand on NSBT. We have over-collateralization, BR like 300%, etc. So you have 3 multiplied to 6, like 18%. And if more price, you have more. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you just have a share from the staking waves from the contract. And this is how USDN started. It was started as like a stable coin with interest, but this interest is based on like small inflation and fees from the blockchain as well. So this is how it works.
Yeah, it's like as if you're, collateralizing DAI with, staked
Yeah,
Ethereum from ETH
exactly.
2.0.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
pretty cool.
exactly.
And also for the are there are liquidations, right? Or are the liquidations like swapping to USD and NSBT, sorry.
There's no liquidation for NSBT. I mean, it's deprecated because NSBT from the early beginning was like a bond token mostly, so you can liquidate it for $1. But right now it doesn't have any sense because it costs like $24 at the moment. So this feature is like deprecated and will be removed soon because we have limited supply for NSBT. We have more functions for NSBTs, like including staking, including governance, voting, and for the future it will be over collateralization for new types of synthetic assets like gold, Tesla, etc. Uh, and yeah, so there is no liquidation mechanics anymore. If the price of collateral will go dramatically down, okay, we'll have a deficit. Like BR will be less than 100%, right? And but it's okay. I mean, the system can become normal automatically just by increasing price. So this is a difference between like Maker and Neutrino, because Maker can't, right? If price is going dramatically down, so there is no way to reduce deficit by growing up. So in Neutrino it doesn't matter. Like we have BR, we have mechanics to actually make BR higher and higher because everyone is interested in that. I mean, USDN stakers, USDN holders, they are interested into higher higher rewards in USDN, right? So the more BR, the more profitable for them as well, but more profitable in like in the long term. If if we have like people who are gonna speculate or gonna participate into governance, we have demand on NSBT. So yeah, the system is auto balancing each other. Like all components are auto balancing each other at the moment.
Gotcha. It's interesting. I
One,
understand that because of the um that formula, it's like an exponential formula basically. It takes like the ratio into account and the total debt and everything. Uh
yeah,
that basically allows that sort of elasticity, and I assume I think, I guess, the like $1 is like the like equilibrium stability point, when the ratio is just one to debt to uh, collateral.
it's not true. It's not true because we have component, and the more supply of NSBT on the market, the more issue price. So it is like uh, it's like the more demand, the more issue price will be. So and only if the issue price is going down, uh, it is happening because BR is going down. Sometimes it's better to issue new NSBT than buy it on the market, and you can do arbitrage or you can just hold it. So, but the formula is sophisticated actually. It is hard to explain without looking on the formula of issuing NSBT.
Yeah, yeah. I was looking at it earlier, and I mean,
Yeah.
it is. I do agree. I mean, it is slightly complicated, but it's easy to wrap your head around if you um, like exponentials can look really complicated, but really you just got to like break it down so that the exponent on the exponential is like its own little modulator on the overall value. I don't know. I didn't think it was too confusing. I thought like I can't find the freaking uh, formula anymore. I don't know where it went on my website, but um, it, I mean, it makes sense when like because I was just plugging in numbers when the debt to collateral ratio is 1, it just zeros out to making the redemption equal to $1, I believe.
Yeah. But also there is a moon factor, which is like multiplier with the divide factor, maximum supply minus current supply. And if the current supply will be close to the maximum supply, this component of the formula is going to infinite. So it's like something which is self stabilizing the system, and it's actually bonding curve. So it means that the more people issue that, the more price for the next issue will be for an SBT. And one important moment for like wrapped versions of USDN is that people, they can just hold their USDN, wrapped USDN, for example, on ETH, ERC20 or BEP20. They can just hold it, and they will have rewards from staking as well. And the also interesting thing is if they have like LP tokens with USDN, for example, on Sushi, they also have this token. So the supply of the token is increasing in the pool with like 20% per year.
Yeah. So is that on the wrapped versions? Is that like a rebasing event where the token's getting rebased daily or semi-daily or something like that?
Yeah, it's like daily rebasing it every day. Yeah, but only positive one, no negative
Yeah,
rebase.
yeah, that's interesting. And I assume that
Yeah.
there's like a lot of arbitrage opportunity there as well for people to to maybe I don't know. I because the supply I assume adjusts on the Waves blockchain first before the rebasing occurs on Ethereum.
Yeah, but right now there is a lot of liquidity on Curve. So if you have arbitrage opportunities, it's easier to buy on Curve right now
Yeah,
because it's like almost 300 millions liquidity. So
yeah,
if
that's
you,
pretty
if you have
crazy.
arbitrage, you can buy for Tether, for example, and realize the arbitrage opportunity there.
And I know you guys have plans for more synthetic assets. I know that you guys are. I believe you have currently like a bunch of different currencies on the Waves platform. Um, are you guys planning on trying to tokenize any other synthetic assets that you guys have been working on to move over to either Binance Smart Chain or Phantom or Ethereum?
Yeah, of course. So we have different teams who is working on Neutrino right now, and my team is focusing mostly on like cross-chain stuff. But from original white paper and from many kind of proposals we have discussed together and also working together, is there is the two different tokenization mechanics. First mechanics called DeFo, decentralized forex. So you can just use the as a collateral to issue another stable coins, like euro or ruble or Brazilian real, whatever, or Japanese yen, right? So and we have a bunch of currencies at the moment. People voted for each of the currency they want to use, and yeah, there is some liquidity. But in general, for alternatives like USD alt stablecoins, there is not so huge demand at the moment. Of course, we have euro, but it's like almost artificial hype right now. So no one actually is using that. I hope it will be changed. But anyway, there is one option, and sometimes people they can just use it to to trade, to entry from like fiat and etc. But most exciting thing is like speculative default, which is like tokenization of volatile assets like indexes and gold and BTC as well. And yeah, there are a lot of plans to do in this year to create like synthetic Tesla, synthetic gold, and etc. But the mechanics will be based on over-collateralization of NSBT as well. So it will be similar to synthetics actually.
Gotcha. And for those speculative synthetic assets,
Yeah.
um, those will follow the same sort of like there won't be liquidations on it. It'll be attached to the protocol wide um, debt ratio.
Yeah. So it will be like as CDPs. Yeah.
Interesting. It's it's a really interesting system for uh, uh, for synthetics to have that sort of. I mean, the best way I can describe it is like a recapitulation. Oh my god, recapitalization, recapitulation. I think recapitulation is the word I'm looking for. When when the ratio gets out of line, it adjusts the NSBT price and the swap, or the minting rate, I suppose, to basically buy back and pay for the debt. Um, it's interesting because like I'm just used to synthetics from or synthetics on synthetics where it's like you have like a price range where like the asset can exist and then like it gets closed out on either of the extremes, which is also like
Yeah.
a pretty confusing type of asset for a lot of people.
But it's a good start actually. It's a good start. I like synthetics. Actually, fun of it. And also Mirror Protocol is also nice how they're doing.
Yeah, Mirror Protocol. Yeah, it's another one. And so yeah, so you guys are looking at like gold and Bitcoin, and ETFs or indexes. Um, any I guess probably I would guess gold and Bitcoin are like top on the list just because it's easier to get Oracle solutions for that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is a problem with the assets because we have traditional markets which are closing through the weekends, and it's actually really hard to understand what price it is, right? You're just using like market price for the synthetic asset as well, and then the market is opening, so you have to change something, and there like huge volatility. So yeah, it's definitely a bit harder to create like stonks synthetic assets. But for gold, yeah, it's not an issue. Gold, Bitcoin, so probably another assets which cannot be trustlessly moved into, for example, Ethereum or another chains. You can also tokenize it by this way. For example, Zcash, right? Or I don't know, uh, Monero.
Yeah, and I wanted to touch on sort of security and audits that you guys have gotten done. What is your guys like internal audit process like? I know you guys you've been around for a while, so I'm sure it's been developed a lot like your processes.
Yeah, so there is 2 weeks, and we have like Neutrino team has different like sub teams, and the ones who is delivering feature, the second who is like providing auto tests, like almost 100% coverage for all functionalities, and regression tests, to check that everything is works with all components. And this is one thing. Another thing is like public audit from like famous audit firms. It is Biosyn, which did audit for like right smart contract running on Waves, and also Quantstamp, who did audit for like ERC20 wrap tokens, which is using right now on Binance Smart Chain, Heka, and Phantom, and Ethereum as well. So we have like two types of audits for any protocol updates.
Gotcha, gotcha. And
Yeah.
all right, I gotcha. If do you think I missed anything or missed a topic or failed to cover anything? I'm racking my brain right now.
Yeah, I have a question about
Yeah.
like going like Sushi is moving into Phantom as well, right? Or at least is trying to create
Yes, I believe so. Right now, there are Sushiswap contracts launched on Phantom, uh, BSC. I don't know. There's a huge list. There's basically any side chain or blockchain that is EVM compatible right now. The SushiSwap contracts are on there, but they are just the it's just the like the pool contracts and just like the master chef, so you can create a pair. But there's no sushi rewards, for instance, on pairs on other chains right now. I think it's more of like laying the groundwork on the territory and then sort of seeing where customers and the community goes to then sort of focus.
Yeah, yeah. So, but you will be welcome to any kind of projects who will provide additional extra incentives for wrap tokens on for the sushi pools on different chains, right?
Say that question again.
I mean, but you don't have rewards on those alt chains, right? Yet, or you
Yeah,
have to
we
check it
we
first.
we don't have them on the alternate chains yet. That would be have to that would have to be something that goes through like a governance vote, which has not
Yeah,
happened yet.
yeah, got it. So yeah, well, as I told you before, we are focusing on like cross chain projects and cross chain wrap tokens, etc. And one of the most important thing for us is to incentivize like liquidity for wrap tokens, and it's really cool because we have USDN on Phantom right now, and if the contract of Sushi is already running, and we can interact with the Sushi via, for example, MetaMask on the Phantom network. So we can create pools and we can incentivize those LP tokens by ourselves, like by our farms, right? And everyone will be happy because it seems like it is hard to attract users without extra incentives to move their
Yeah.
liquidity. It's like
Yeah.
chicken egg problem.
It's the curse of the DeFi summer.
Yeah, but also like chicken egg problem because because if you have perfect IMM like exchange, but on the chain there is no activity, there is no volumes, there is no users, uh, there is no like reason for new users to join. It's like really hard to do. Probably because of network effect, probably some time it will happen, like with Uniswap, right? It started as like, I don't know, 10K in the pool, probably 20K in the pool, and yeah, right now we have like billions. But the network effect is important.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
without it,
certainly.
it's almost impossible. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cool that like that. I don't really know if there's other tokens that can really say that they can just like make a wrapped version of their token and then put it in some pool and say, yeah, if you're in that pool, you're automatically earning yield on your USDN. So it's a pretty nice value proposition for the side chains right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a bit hard with waves to for example fork like Sushi on that, because it's like it's not EVM chain. Probably it will be
Yeah.
changed somewhere, because it's like it's a mainstream way to do. But yeah, in opposite, because of proof of stake, because of like small inflation on the consensus layer, uh, yeah, it is one of the first auto staking stablecoin, and it was really popular. But after that, we have like Curve and huge APU on Curve in theory, and people starting. They're just starting forgetting about about originals, And right now we have Sushi, and there is also like huge pretty nice, actually, pretty nice rewards for USDN and wrap if pair, and it's increasing. I see. The more it will be like exist, the more it will be like filling. So we'll see more and more volumes here and arbitrage, etc. But yeah, you're right. The original value proposition it is. But there is a problem on ETH, because that token is a bit more expensive even than Tether, because you have to pay a bit more gas fees for transfers.
The
Because
the rebasing mechanism is expensive on ETH, or the token price is there's like a premium
no,
on ETH.
rebasing is actually pretty okay, because it's like um, it's not executing until you are not transferring token. But then you are transferring, there is like some additional extra computations you have to done, so, and you are paying for that. And on if it's not like it's easier to just keep it on some pool, and yeah, in that case, everything will be automatically executed, and people, they will share the costs for that. But yeah, for a lot of chains it's actually easy, because low gas fees, and you can do any kind of computation, so it's like people even don't notice.
Yeah, awesome. And are there any medium to long term plans or on your uh, roadmap that you guys want to talk about that are coming up soon?
Yeah, so as I told you before, the Neutrino is actually, so we have several teams who is working on that. The main team is like Waves Exchange. So the Waves Exchange is like someone who is delivering most of stuff and protocol updates, etc. My team, who is working on Gravity, who is working on cross-chain solutions and different kind of integrations. We are focusing on moving Neutrino assets, NSBT and USDN into different farms on different chains. And not only that, we are also creating the farm specialized for wrap tokens, because as I mentioned before, it seems to be an issue, like chicken egg problem. Yeah, we are moving to like to alt chains, but it's not enough to move projects. It is important to create some incentives for people to wrap their tokens and start trading, etc. So only one way how to do that, and we are launching this within the Gravity project, the project called Graviton. So it's like we'll provide extra incentives for first of all, of course, for wrap USDN and NSBT tokens on different chains. We have like target list of chains right now we have experience with. It's like Binance Smart Chain, Heka, Phantom, Avalanche, and there we'll provide some kind of extra farms. And if Sushi is already available on those chains, we can do collaboration with this thing as well, because it's like win-win situation in that sense. You'll have more volumes, we'll have like users and more liquidity on different chains.
Awesome. And where is that that those extra incentives coming from for the wrapped versions? Is that just like a little bit of the fees from the Waves protocol, or is that like
Yeah, it's a farm. It's a farm. It's yet another farm. But the token has its function, its utility. It's not just like it's not just governance token. So if the system is designed to be like, if you're gonna wrap token, so for example USDN into Binance chain or into Phantom, it's okay, you can do that and you can pay some fee. But then you did it, you have your wrap token, you have to put it on some pool, for example on Sushi pool, right? To like native token, to FTM, if we are looking on Phantom. So, and if you have this LP token, you can actually stake it, and you will be reward. You can be rewarded into Graviton token for that activity.
Oh, I see. Okay, so there's going to be a graviton token. I got
Yeah,
you. I see.
but if you're gonna move and unwrap your token, like move it to origin chain, you have to pay. You have to pay fees into Graviton token as well. But if here's the thing: the size of fees will be corrected, and if you stake it, if you are staking for some time, for example for 1 week, you'll have enough Graviton tokens to pay the fees for unwrap. So for you it will be like for free, in both directions. But we are trying to design the system to motivate people, wrapped tokens, not unwrapped. So this is our goal and our plans with the Gravity project.
Gotcha. It's a pretty interesting system where you have the gravity tokens where you have to basically use it to unlock your stake. So it reminded me of I don't know if you are familiar with this project, but 88 miles per hour, where it has
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
put your loan in or your collateral and get your rate for a certain amount of time, and in order to actually close out your account, you have to pay back some of the MPH that you were given.
Yeah, so we are focusing on that, and because we are close to like Neutrino team, we are original like creators of Neutrino. So those USDN and SBT will be first. Wrap token will be who will have support from that farm, but also another tokens will be also supported, even if they are not coming from our bridges. For example, from like fusion bridges, etc. There are actually many bridges, and we like that situation because people they have options.
Yeah, awesome. If Luffy, I know you just joined in. I don't know if you have a question or something you wanted to ask.
No, just
But
just wanted to listen.
Why
okay,
you
no
have
worries.
CZ? CZ means like you have some relation with Binance, right?
Oh no, I'm just from Czech Republic. It's like I'll do my name and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, got it. CZ.
But yeah, I think this is a good time to wrap it up. I don't want to hold you guys here for hours and hours on end. Um, I appreciate you, Alexei, for coming out and talking to us about the Neutrino protocol. Really appreciate your time, and I'm excited to have you guys integrated with the Onsen. I'm excited to hear
Yeah.
what comes out next from Neutrino.
Yeah. It was a pleasure to answer your questions. Like really deep understanding what's going on, and I always like it. And I also like how sushi is going. It was started like anonymous project, like no one knows, etc. But after a certain time, it's becoming more and more like professional firm or something. I'm impressed actually, and the Onsen is a good program for incentivization of like liquidity bootstrapping for new tokens, right? And bringing new users from new ecosystems, which always working good. So I
Yeah, we're all
appreciate that.
about the network effects here at Sushi.
Yeah, yeah,
All right, but yeah, thank you for coming out. Thank you for everybody who listened in. Stay safe and take it easy.